a lot of kids in there are gonna be like, I don't want to hear about it right now because yeah, we fighting cases and our life is on the line, and we seen that everything was all bad and we didn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. So when these people from release came in, we were like, oh, who are these old white people coming in to see us? You know, and a lot of people, you know, when you're young and you're negligent, you just feel like, man, they're not for us. Because, you know, when you go in the courtroom and you see, it's what you see, a judge on the stand and prosecutor, you know, these people done kind of, they against us. So we felt like that, you know, even the police officers that served in our community, you know, they don't look like us. So it was just like, you know, they trying to benefit off our pain. And, you know, we soon found out that wasn't the case with Release Ministries.
So many of these young people, they don't want to waste their time with you if you're not going to be there for them. And so they're going to get this over right away. They are going to test you right away. And if you show up the next day, that's a good thing. And if you show up the day after that, that's a really good thing. And ultimately, they're going to start trusting you. Release Ministries has been outstanding in that capacity, never giving up on kids.
My name is Quarante, better known as Q. I was in the boys' home for Release Ministries about 14 years ago to date.
My name is Christine, and about a year ago, I worked with the Release social worker.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jason.
We were Release foster parents, and we were the first family that was able to adopt through Release almost 3 years ago.
I didn't know what to think. I mean, the minute that she started talking, I was like, okay, you know, this is all right. But I mean, you know, at first you're skeptical, you're scared, you know, you're like, you don't know who's really for you or whatnot.
We didn't have it all figured out. We had almost nothing. There was nothing figured out. We just really said, okay, yes. We don't know what this is gonna look like, but we said yes. And so once you let go, you know, if you give God the room, he'll come in. And so he did.
When you're living on the streets and doing stupid stuff, be able to get a decent meal. And Al was actually a really good cook. Him and his wife both. Having a decent meal is half the battle. And with a decent meal always comes a decent conversation.
When I came back out, I had those same opportunities because of whatever it was on my record that stopped me from moving forward. And I was just applying for a lot of jobs, and then I was getting denied. So until I came across one, Hope Center ended up giving me a job, and it was probably the best thing they said they ever done because I'm a clean freak and I was custodial, but also brought my lived experiences to talk to some of the youth too, to try to deter them from going into that direction too, you know, so.
I was really involved in drugs when I got to them. So I had the fortunate event of overdosing when I was actually at the house, and Christina came in and for more or less acted like a surrogate mother to me. She set me straight, helped me out, did what she needed to do, stayed within me, in the hospital with me, you know, everything that she could, and that really stuck with me. And like, it's still one of those kind of, wow, there's people really that care.
I mean, it was things that I had to do that I didn't want to do, but eventually I did it, and it made me a better me.
You know, there was a moment in time when I was just down, you know, like unsure of what I was going through in life, and I always had someone to talk to. It wasn't even like it was like you could walk around and be depressed. If they saw you depressed, they would go out their way to talk to you.
She would talk to me and tell me if I had any questions to call her, and she would let me know I'm not, you know, that this doesn't mean that I'm like a bad parent, that it's just we've got obstacles that we have to work through. She never took away, you know, my motherhood.
Together for me means I'm not in this by myself.
Well, for a lot of our families, it means getting their children back home.
When I hear together, I think family. I guess together what it means to me is just a collective effort between not only the families but also ourselves to bring them to the desired goal.
I don't want to cry. I'll never forget when they first showed up at our door and just that first time, like, what's this going to be like, you know? And I'm sure they were nervous. We were nervous. I know the family was nervous, but it was good. They adjusted, we adjusted, we went out. Jason went out and got pizza that first night. We played Legos and just kind of tried to have a fun, laid back night.
You know, when you have love there and people that surround you and they care and they just want you to succeed, that's home.
Place where you seek shelter when, you know, things are getting rough.
Where you feel comfortable and can be relaxed and not like have your guard up constantly.
Together is huge because it's God's plan, you know, for relationships.
Change happens in the context of relationship. And the reason it works that way is you have to have someone in relationship that you trust, someone that has your best interest, and you know that has their best interest before you'll be safe enough to open up and become vulnerable and be able to take the steps to change and move from what you're doing to where you should be going. That takes relationship.
When we're alone, we don't have that support system we need in order to weather the storms that come in life. And so together implies that we are all in this together. Whether we are blood relation or just the family of God, we are all in this together and we are going to help each other.
I think healthy is when all of the systems are working as they're supposed to. When one of the systems or one part of an organism is out of whack, it really affects everything.
Healthy is so important because in that relationship, there's so many things that they have to change, whether it can be anything from self-harm or anything from running from problems, or it can be drugs, it can be whatever it is, but there's something in their life that has caused them not to be living life well. And so it has to be safe together, but once they're together, you have to move to something healthy or they'll go back to the situation they were before, on the run, in trouble, incarcerated.
It means working through a lot of steps to make sure that the together is also safe.
Healthy is not you have it all together or you're perfect. It's that you know you have some problems or some issues or some barriers and you're working towards healing.
Open to changes in communication, that know how to communicate how they're feeling so they can fix things and not leave them broken.
Emotionally healthy really means that we have to really be talking about the things. We need to talk about our anxiety. We need to talk about our stressors. We need to talk about how we cope with things. We need to just approach everything with an honest, straightforward talk so that we can be healthy.
Being supportive. I mean, that's one thing that every male figure within Release provided was support. Just being there, period.
Release Ministries exists because there are youth and families out there that have been traumatized, youth and families that have been broken. Their lives are not safe and healthy, and they need a friend, they need an organization, they need people that can come in and walk with them and help them move them to freedom.